Hi, hi guys. Welcome to Topntown Tuesday. Okay, so here we go. A design document for online Toontown multiplayer game. A multiplayer game for boys and girls ages 6 to 12. Played on PC format, keyboard interface / mouse. Town divided into shards. 1,000 players per shard. Players customize avatar to become a toon. Environment is a toontown. Buildings are unique. For example, one gag factory, but stacked for multiple players. Not all buildings can be entered. Art design of a boys cartoon. Money is not used in this world. Okay, that's kind of correct. I mean, the currency is jelly beans, not money, so yeah. Beginners watch a Mickey welcome video. Players start with a simple task to complete. A variety of team and solo games are available. There's a community billboard that displays what's happening that day in Toontown. Or newspaper. The newspaper thing is actually correct because Toon News for the Muse or something. Players carry a book that they personalize with stamps, collections, and portals. Once a player has visited a location, they will have the ability to teleport back whenever they wish. Sadly, that doesn't happen. You have to do tasks to get teleportation to whatever place. Opponents will be the suits who are trying to take over Toontown. Battles will be turn-based. Well, that's kind of true, kind of not true. It is turn-based, but it's also time-based. To win a battle, the player makes the opponent laugh. To make an opponent laugh, you perform some type of gag. When the opponent laughs, he floats into the sky and is gone. The opponent will have counter moves to avoid gags. If the opponent's counter move is successful, the avatar will have a variety of penalties depending on what the suit has done to him/her. Players can rescue players that have been paralyzed by suits. Avatars will have a life meter, human mojo. Well, that is kinda correct. But we have a laugh meter. If the life meter goes to 0, the player is put in a straitjacket and taken to the funny farm. Everyone can get out of the funny farm, but the task will depend on experience and resources. There are different levels of suits and player has to gain experience to engage higher level execs. There are different levels of gags, weapons, gag/weapons, depending on players' experience. Business people dressed in suits are attempting to turn the colorful world of Toontown into a black and white metropolis of skyscrapers and businesses. That's kinda correct. I mean, cogs do that. Safe zone, Toontown, the middle of the bullseye. Can't be taken over. Player's home is here. Main toon buildings here. Location of training and beginner quest. Hazard zone. Suits are starting to infiltrate zone closest to center. Two buildings are being changed into office buildings. Suit moves in and changes building to black and white. Suit zone. Minis own this area. Further zone from center. Dungeons for events gameplay. School, city, factory, neighborhood. How to throw a pie. How to find and use bananas. How to repaint Toontown. Solo games. Puzzle games. Word games. Mad Libs. Mini games. Run through the bakery and grab as many pies as you can. Cubicle maze. Tomb Raider. Group games. Capture the flag. Ink and paintball. Kick the can. Trampoline. Tag. Repair town after destruction. Personalize and name town. Stop the meanies from taking over Toontown. Sue takes over Toon building, walks in and has potential to be a boss and spawn other suits. Building alerts player to danger by flashing from color to black and white. Restore town to Toon colors. Simple quests given by mentor. Find the banana tree and collect bananas. Events quest. Gather the ingredients to make pies, etc. Okay. Exploring. And now here we go with the avatars. Dog, round head, elongated head, long muzzle, short muzzle, long ears, short ears, big nose, small eyes, big eyes. Brown, orange, and black. Cat. Same thing but brown, orange, and white. Mouse. Same thing but brown and black. Duck. Same but round head, elongated head, fat beak, thin beak, small eyes, big eyes, white and black. Rabbit. Same thing as the others besides duck, brown and white. Bodies, tall, thin, suit. Color 1, color 2, color 3, dress. Color 1, color 2, and color 3. Long coat and pants. Same thing, shorts. Same thing. Shorts and short. Same thing. Medium is the same. Same with large. Legs. Long shoes, big floppy shoes, color 1, color 2, big Minnie Mouse type high heels. Same colors. Floppy Mickey type shoes, same colors. Short shoes. Same thing. Accessories. Fedora, straw hat, sailor cap, cowboy hat, baseball cap, goofy hat. Color 1 and color 2. Hats, female. Bonnet, bullet, pillbox, matador, round hat with flower crown. I'm so upset that they didn't include the last one. Color 1, color 2, and color 3. Bow ties, male, worn at neck. Bows, female, worn on head. Jewelry, to be decided. Antagonist, human suits. CEO, VP, and CFO. Cartoon, Weasel's Bruto type. NPC characters, Mickey. Welcome video for first-time players. Donald, Goofy, Minnie, Pluto. Town staff, hotel, factory, and city hall. Players, comic book. Page of players room. Player can jump into his/her room from anywhere at any time. Page of completed quests. Page of levels reached. Shows what can be earned and tracks to accomplish. Banana throwing icon filled. Pie throwing icon filled. Page of opponents fouled. Picture of opponent is filled in. Number below shows how many you've successfully disarmed. Page of pictures of places visit. Serve as port to return at any time. Page of items collected or traded. Takes approximately 20 hours to complete book. Building/places. Gag Factory. Banana Farm. Mini game where players collect banana peels for battles with suits. Library. Word games. Mad Libs. Puzzle games. Hotel. The Ritz Carlton. Each player has their own room, staffed with NPC helpful characters, elevator attendant, bellhop, desk clerk, room service. Room can be accessed by player by the comic book. Elevator takes player from his/her room to town square. City Hall. The mayor, Mickey, is here. Movie house. Events players can make a movie or where events of the day are played. Training area. Where players practice their skills. Funny Farm. Where avatars are caught off to when they lose a battle. To get out, you must battle the guys in the white coat. You will have to use up some of your resources to escape. Difficulty of escape is based on your skill level. Time limit on how long you stay. You get booted out when your resources are depleted. Hospital. Where tuned avatars must come to be repaired after a battle with suits. If flattened, they are pumped up here. Gag/weapons. Pie and face. Slip on a banana peel. Tickle with feather. Eye pokes. Foot stomps. Kiss. Smackaroo. Seltzer balls. Squirting flowers. Tie their shoelaces together. Pinch cheeks. Tweak nose. Noogie. Raspberries. Anvil. Rubber mallet. Falling shapes. Suit attacks. Throws book at avatar. Avatar gets squished. Ties avatar up with red tape. Okay. Rewards. If you can read what it says, please tell me. Because I can't read the handwriting. Activities. Flying suits. Puzzles. Quests. Chat. Minigames. I don't know that one. Gathering resources. Team sports. Respawn / repair / I don't know that one. I don't know that one too. Internal. I don't know that one. Don't know that one. Music, games, Funny Farm. Can't move. Straight jacket. When you lose a battle and they take you to the Funny Farm box-in, Avatar is trapped inside planks of boards and unable to escape. Time or other players can rescue you. Nags at Avatar. Grow smaller. Big eraser. Erases part of the avatar. Can be repaired at the hospital. Stopwatch. Freezes avatar. And the others weren't written. Okay. So, this is the earliest known design document for what would become Disney's Toontown line. Being so early in the development process, it is only 12 actually 13 pages long in total. The ideas that would make their way into the final game are being filmed here. The absolute basics such as turn-based spells against the suits and customizable avatars. We can also see just how extremely customizable they had wanted tunes to be at this stage in development, which ultimately had to be cut down for the sake of reducing scope. Is milestones. Okay, initial prototype. Deliverables. A prototype running on a Linux PC with GL that 6 to 12 guests can play simultaneously. This prototype includes Squeak/C++ interface, Panda 3D on Linux PC with GL, client/server networking prototype, animated test avatars, prototype Toontown environment, 6 to 12 interacting users, prototype 3D world balloon chat system, first gameplay prototype, deliverables, detailed game design document, technical design document, phase download, specification details, a guest testable prototype running on a Linux PC with GL that 6 to 12 guests can play simultaneously. The prototype includes create a tune interface prototype, mix and match avatars, friends list prototype, minigame prototype, modular C prototype, multiplayer suit battle prototype, prototype collision system, avatar level of detail, prototype suit AI, second gameplay prototype, deliverables, prototype level editor, a guest testable prototype running on a Windows NT PC with GL that 20 to 30 guests can play simultaneously, which includes more mini-games, more attacks during suit battles, full-size prototype city, final collision detection system, visibility system, binary file loading, Panda 2D widgets, final world balloon layout system, final suit AI, prototype inventory system, final avatar construction, prototype safe zone activities, friends list prototype, final camera system, overall UI prototype. First alpha release. Deliverables. An alpha release running on a Windows 95 PC with DirectX that hundreds of guests can play simultaneously, which includes a complete server cluster serving an entire Toontown city, complete friends list system, more minigames, complete word balloon chat system, complete inventory system, more attacks during suit battles, complete invitation system, more safe zone activities, improvements to the world design, a sticker book implementation, funny foam implementation, direct sound support, overall UI improvements, tire phase transitions, downloadable Squeak, asynchronous phase download of the game, support for more 3D cards, stress-based level of detail, installation and patch system, and complete level editor. Second alpha release, deliverables. A second alpha release that hundreds of guests can play simultaneously, which includes the following improvements to the initial alpha release. Server front end for choosing which Toontown city to enter. Secure encrypted network transmissions. All Mac system detection on install. Support for more 3D cards. Overall UI improvements. Blast integration. Rubberhead interface for guest appearances. Complete minigames. Complete map information. Complete suit battle system. Initial tutorial implementation. Battle tutorial implementation. More safe zone activities. Interior building implementation for suit battles. Complete sticker book implementation. Improved sound/music. Beta release. Deliverables. A beta release that hundreds of guests can play simultaneously on multiple off-site server clusters, which includes the following improvements over the second alpha release. Multiple Toontown cities on off-site server clusters. Integration with Akamai. Support for all planned 3D cards. Improved performance. Complete safe zone activities. Complete building interior implementation for suit battles. Toon vs. Toon Arena. Complete sound integration. And complete overall UI. GA release deliverables. The GA version of the game deployed on Blast. It will be running on multiple off-site server clusters. It will include bug fixes and feature changes as dictated by what is found in the beta phase. No significant new features are planned for this release, giving us contingency time to fix problems that come up in the beta testing. This document outlines the initial development schedule for creating Toontown. While this schedule may have felt feasible at the time, a wide variety of factors led to an internal delay of Toontown. While initial development was programmed in Squeak for rapid prototyping iterations, the game was rewritten in Python for the sake of long-term viability. Plus, many of the features outlined here ended up becoming far larger than anticipated to implement. Going over common elements, concepts, simoleons. The currency of Toontown. Simoleons are count in zillions. They are won in the arcade and are used to purchase pops for battles. There is a cap on how many simoleons you can carry to prevent greedy accumulation habits. Stores will always be near arcades. Historical markers. These gold plaques will be placed on various buildings, especially on landmarks. Walking near it gives you a humorous text message with the title, history, and use of this building. It will give an otherwise dull building a story all its own. Girls may feel left out by the battles in the game, but will enjoy walking around and reading these silly little tidbits. These stories will flesh out the reality of Toontown in ways that geometry can't do. Corporate identity plaques. These small silver plaques replace hysterical markers when suits take over a landmark. They list the corporate identity of the suits that occupy it. This will help because suit buildings may end up looking the same, and players would appreciate knowing what dangers lurk inside buildings before they commit to a hopeless battle. The book. This book contains all your pertinent information, cataloging the pops you own, your simoleons, as well as maintaining a list of friends. so the game can notify you when friends are logged on, and so you can send them messages or transport yourself directly to them. It also keeps track of your stats since you need to earn the right to battle stronger suits. Purple holes. If you decide to go directly to a friend, your avatar will take out a purple hole and step through it to the new location. Airmail. If you want to send a message to anyone in Toontown, you click on one of the mailboxes. You can write your message and send it to them. It will instantly fly up to them on flying wings. Famous tunes. The permanent citizens of Toontown should be taken mostly from classic Disney shorts and TV shows associated with the classic characters. Feature film characters generally shouldn't be seen here, except in a neighborhood themed like a movie studio. Primary citizens. These are the characters who are associated with specific neighborhoods and therefore might have a webmaster controlled walk around character in that neighborhood. Mickey Mouse, Pluto, Minnie Mouse, Goofy, Donald Duck, Daisy Duck. At the time, Daisy was not implemented, nor was gardening. Huey, Dewey, and Louie, Scrooge McDuck, Clarabelle Cow, Horace Horsecollar, Peg Leg Pete, J. Audubon, Woodlore, Baby Herman, Peter and Polly Penguin. Secondary citizens. These characters' names and faces might appear in graphics or text, but probably not as walk-around characters. Chip and Dale, Fifi, Minnie's dog, Oswald the rabbit, Julius the cat, the three little pigs, the big bad wolf, the three caballeros, Toby Tortoise, Max Hare, Mortimer Mouse, Muldoon the cop, Ferdinand the bull, Casey at the bat, Humphrey the bear, Abner and Monty Mouse, Willie the whale, Lil Toot the tugboat, Steamboat Willie, Susie the blue coop, Hortense the ostrich. Sorry, I missed the big bad wolf, I think. Another Ferdinand the bull, Gus Goose, Figaro the cat, Butch the bulldog, Lucifer the alley cat, Marblehead the pelican, Snapshot to racehorse, Roboboy racehorse, Grandpa Duck, Abigail Vanderquack, Mrs. Beakley, Duckworth, Launchpad McCrack, Fenton Crackshell, Gyro Gearloose, Flintheart Glomgold, the Beagle Boys, Ludwig von Drake, Mrs. Featherby, Flowers and Trees, Peter Pig, Ferdy and Murray Mouse. Neighborhood and zone conceits. Neighborhood. What?
I'm going over with Mike's to pick up your medicine.
Okay.
But I'm going up Aunt Mary first.
Okay. Neighborhoods.
So I'm going to lock the door if my mom's asleep.
Okay. Toontown is divided into neighborhoods, which are areas of common civic identity, coloration, and character. Examples: industrial, residential, woods. Each neighborhood has a safe zone at its center. Surrounding the safe zone are similarly themed neighborhood streets, which all fall in the danger zone. Boundaries between different neighborhoods should be signified in simple ways: crossing bridges, going through tunnels, big signs. Welcome to Daisy District. Safe zone. No suits allowed. The entrances to these zones are marked with a sign depicting a suit with a no symbol over it. No suits can enter these areas. Danger zone. Suits are active. These areas are patrolled by suits, which you can engage in battles. Sometimes a suit will take over a building, transforming a lower facades into suit structures. The further out from the center of Toontown you go, the more suits you will encounter. Safe zone. Each safe zone except Toon Square has these common elements. Activity area. An unstructured activity that may involve some simple problem solving but without scoring or win-lose scenarios. It should be something that groups can do together or watch each other do while trying. Basically, these are playgrounds. Arcade entrance. Each safe zone has one portal that leads to the common arcade area, which can be accessed from every safe zone. In the arcade, you play simple games to win simoleons, the currency of Toontown, which you will need to buy stuff. This arcade entrance may be identical in every zone. When you leave an arcade, you can choose which safe zone you want to go to. Store. Each safe zone has one store lightly themed to the zone. Each store sells the same merchandise, though. You will need these things to fight the suits. Danger zone. There are two levels of difficulty in danger zones, hard and easy. The easy areas are in innermost 4 neighborhoods of Toontown. Each danger zone is made up of many twisting streets with common elements. Landmarks. Danger zones are peppered with these structures, which are simply themed by a bit above average in geometric complexity. They are marked with hysterical markers. Clicking on a be right back. Clicking on a historical marker gets you a little piece of funny text that describes the historical origins of this building. This is the sort of literary pursuit that might appeal to girl players in this boy-heavy environment. Toons can't go inside a landmark, but if a suit goes inside, it instantly becomes a suit satellite office. Suit satellite offices. When landmarks are turned into satellite offices, the surrounding tomb facades also become suit buildings. The design of a satellite office will match the type of suit that took it over. Based on the 4 suit divisions, in order to convert a satellite office back into a landmark, you must enter it. The doors work now, and defeat the suit or suits hidden inside. Therefore, each satellite office has an interior space of some sort. The size of this space is dependent on the number of suits inside. The exterior of each satellite office has a corporate identity plaque where the historical marker used to be. Clicking on it will give you a funny description of its use in the suit hierarchy, as well as an idea of how many suits are located inside. This is how people can decide whether or not to enter. In addition, if you haven't progressed in the game enough, you won't be allowed to enter. Tune in suit facades. Suit facades are the simplest structural elements. Those that surround a landmark will become suit facades when that landmark is transformed. Suit facades are always the same texture, though they will be of different heights based on the heights of the original tomb facades. Trees, light poles, and other small elements may also be converted into suit structures. Taxi through Toontown Tunnel. Banners linking to the Toontown site can look like taxi stands or have taxi imagery. Basically, by clicking on the banner link, you are hailing a taxi to Toontown. While the site is downloading, you see a short animated sequence. You travel down a long tunnel in the back of Benny the Cab, who may give color commentary as he swerves around terrified Toon trucks and Toon cars. Finally, you see a sign, "Welcome to Toontown." Benny shoots out into Toon Square, causing Toons to leap for cover. Benny goes right up the steps into Toontown Hall, down the main corridor, and right into the Toon Services office. Suit Central Towers. On the edges of Toontown are the main corporate offices of the Suits. These are tall, imposing buildings in the most dangerous neighborhoods. They are guarded by Suits. I can't pronounce that word. And can only be entered by the most experienced players who have earned the right with a high score, but a player can't go in alone. They'll need to attack in groups if they stand any chance of winning. There might be specialized obstacles inside. You might encounter a corridor of filing cabinets, the drawers of which are constantly shooting open and closed. You'll have to use just the right timing to avoid being bashed. Any players who survive the final battle with the head honcho will be honored in the Hall of Fame and will be allowed to battle other Hall of Famers in Pete's Pandemonium Palace. Most players will never get this far, nor should they feel they need to. This is strictly for the battle brains out there. Everyone else should just have fun hanging out. Each safe zone has an entrance to the arcade, which is always the same design and offers the same games. The exteriors will all feature the same marquee, but the structures may be different, colored differently at least. I think the unifying design of the arcade will have a significant impact on the sorts of games that can be played inside. So here are some ideas for different arcade treatments. This is a chain of video arcades. Inside the games, the guests can play or present as visual arcade. They can be video games or hands-on type games, whack-a-mole, pinball, foosball, bowling. And if you need to have a game that fits outside of this boundary, you can create separate themed rooms within the arcade to play strategy games like chess, dominoes, board games, or play carnival games. This format works well for winning simoleons to buy stuff with. The simoleons could pop out ticket like as an animation. Here are some ideas for the identity of the chain. Goofy's Games, Huey, Dewey, and Louie's Tooncade, the Mickey Mouse Club. These would appear like tents and the interiors themed like a midway. This theme will restrict the games to the sorts of games you find in a carnival, railway, shooting gallery, ring darts. Video games or strategy games are completely out of style with this environment. Also, winning money for trade is uncarnival. Like, you almost always win stuffed animals in carnivals. Some name ideas: Goofy's Games, Clarabelle's Carnival, Mickey's Midway. This would appear as some sort of magical pull that whisks you away to a gameplay that can be utterly different from Toontown. The games could have any format or style, but would have to be less specific in nature. For instance, if the game is clearly a carnival type game, it might seem out of place in a magical realm. But that depends on the nature of the realm, I guess. So here are some ideas for names. Pleasure Island. The entry looks like a tour bus with a sign on the side to Pleasure Island. Getting in whisks you away to the insane carnival from Pinocchio. The games here could be edgier than other themes would allow. It could have almost any theme, even crassly commercial ones. Winning money here makes a lot of sense. Maybe all visitors get donkey ears when they enter Sorcerer Mickey's. The entrance could be themed like a sorcerer's hat. Stepping inside literally takes you away to another place, but the games all have a magical origin. Winning money here might be a bit strange. This is probably the least innocent approach, but makes by far the most sense with winning money. But it doesn't make sense that you can't lose money. The games here will mostly be games of chance or strategy games. The theme could be loose enough to incorporate characters and take the edge of the negative connotations of a casino. Or it could become a toon parody of Vegas. The exterior will look like a big pair of dice, or a big dollar sign, or a golden duck. It may be unsightly in certain neighborhoods, but that's in keeping with Scrooge's character. After lining these up, my favorite concept is Pleasure Island. Having a bus in each safety zone would add a vehicular presence the game is lacking, and the arcade interior itself could be very wacky and strange. Here are some game ideas inspired by Disney classic shorts. Three Little Pigs. The players have to help Practical Pig make a house out of a pile of bricks. Meanwhile, you see the big bad wolf blowing down the other houses. If you don't get your house built in time, you lose. But if you do build it in time, you dance around saying, "Who's afraid of the big bad wolf?" Pluto's Secret Stash, a memory game. You see Pluto bury bones in his yard, and then you have to remember where he buried them and dig them up in the right order. Chippendale's Tree House. You have to help Chippendale collect acorns before Donald Duck snatches them all. The tortoise and the hare. You and other players can choose to be tortoises or hares in this big race through a maze-like forest. Up to 10 can race at a time. Tortoises move slowly, but they are easy to control. Hares only move in sudden bursts of speed. If you aim them wrong, they will go down the wrong path. Ferdinand's Flower Fury. You and others are playing a field of flowers. Ferdinand madly dashes about, bashing people every which way. Your goal is to pick enough flowers to pacify Ferdinand, 5, but every time he hits you, you drop the flowers you already hold. Casey at the bat. Players take turns trying not to strike out. Huey, Dewey, and Louie's tricycle race. You control one of these three brats and race around a track in their house, the old mill. The mill's vanes are blowing wildly in the storm. The first player past them into the front door wins. Minnie's Bake Off. The players must complete against Minnie to make various recipes. They must grab ingredients for the bowl and have to work together because Minnie is very fast. Okay. Downtown Toontown. This is the civic center of Toontown. The architecture is silly and simple, except for the specialized buildings which have varying degrees of extra detail. Primary character Mickey Mouse. Toon Square. This will probably be the most crowded area in Toontown, so it's larger than the other safe zones. This is accomplished by breaking it into 3 sections that can download separately: Toontown Hall, North Toon Square, and South Toon Square. The activity for this zone is in South Toon Square. Toontown Hall. This large building sits in the center of Toon Square. It is a separate download from the rest of Toon Square. It has a long hallway inside with some special rooms. Toon Services. Storing area for everyone. Mayor Mickey greets you in this office at the center of Toontown Hall. If it is your first time here, he will ask you through the process of creating your avatar and will issue you your book, which looks a bit like a passport. The first page of the book contains your citizen certificate, which includes a photo of your avatar, suitable for printing and framing. If you are already a citizen of Toontown, you can log on and be on your way. Welcome back, pal. We miss ya. Haha. You exit out into the Hall of Fame. You can also go back into this office if you want to retire your Toon and start from scratch. Hall of Fame. A long, roomy corridor hung with portraits and scores of the most accomplished citizens. Clicking on the portraits gives you a rundown of their great deeds, basically a look into their sticker books. The corridor has exits to the north side and south side. Mayor's office. Only the very best players are invited into Mickey's office to receive medals and awards and special commendations. In these instances, Mickey will be run by one of the site's webmasters, so he can carry on an intelligible conversation. Zoning office. This room has a large map of Toontown showing areas where the suits are active at the moment and areas where the suits have converted sections of town, so you can plan your attack. The map in your book will only show areas you have already been. North Toon Square, Toontown News. This newsstand has various magazines and newspapers in the racks that you can click on. Toontown Tourist. Clicking on this magazine brings up a simply designed magazine with a list of topics a first-time visitor might want to ask about, which link to bits of explanatory text. The featured characters are the 3 Caballeros. Toon Talk. Clicking on this newsletter brings up a simply designed news page where you can read or display public announcements. This featured character is Daisy Duck doing her job as the local society maven. Toontown Tower. Clicking on the newspaper brings up a simply designed tabloid page which features changing articles written by the webmaster. Some of these may be just plain entertaining, but most are news items of interest, announcements of great victories, future enhancements, trends. The featured character is Goofy, dressed in reporter garb. Cartoon Wits Hotel. This is the place to set up private chat rooms or clubs. When you enter this building, you meet the bellhop, Horace Horsecollar, who's not 3D character but simply appears in black graphics. He gives you the choice to check in or visit. If you check in, you go into a room. If you visit, you can pick your destination from the guest list, which only displays the rooms at the moment that are open to you. Rooms. Each room has some basic furniture and these specialty props. Phone. If you click on the phone, you will see your visitor list, which you can add names to. You can even choose to simply copy all the names of friends you already have in your book database. Door. If you leave your door open, then your name will display on the hotel's guest list, and anyone can come in. If you close your door, then only people on your visitor list can enter. Goofy's How to Cartoon Academy. By going in this building, you can see a demonstration of how the fighting system works. It will show Goofy buying a suit while it shows you what not to do. Ludwig von Drake's Plastic Surgery Center. If you want to change or refine your character, clothes, faces, identities, you have to go into this hospital. Well, you are attended to by Ludwig von Drake. He appears in flat graphic format, not as a 3D avatar. South Toon Square. Pete's Pandemonium Palace. Entering the stadium allows you to view any ultimate battles being fought by super players at the moment. These are battles where toons can fight each other, but only if they have earned the right by participating in the defeat of one of the four suit central towers. A sign over the entry will light up if any battles are in progress. An unlimited number of toons may be watching the battle at any given time because they see the battle from the same point of view as the combatants. Activity. Balloonatic Park. There are several balloon machines in this park, and if you touch different ones, strange things happen to your avatar. Some machines make your head giant, others your arms, others make your entire body giant. If you get big enough, you will pop and go whizzing around like a deflating balloon and return to normal. Store number 1, Duckingdale's department store. You can buy props in this store with simoleons. You win in the Tooncade, which is directly opposite. Danger Zone number 1 landmarks. Note, these are only a few of them. Post Office, Toon County Courthouse, the Who's Glow, the City Jail, Clara Clark's Opera House, Moore's Playmouse Club, McDuck, I can't pronounce that. This is the high finance neighborhood of Toontown. The buildings here are all quite tall and wealthy looking, but they have much more characters than suit buildings. Primary character, Scrooge McDuck. Scrooge Square. A series of wealthy buildings surround Scrooge's bank. Scrooge McDuck's bank. You can go inside the bank to play around in Scrooge's coin pool. If you keep moving, you stay on top, but if you walk slowly, you will sink up to your neck. But going forward brings you to the surface again. You can go up onto a diving board to dive into the coins just like Scrooge does. Store number 2, the Dapper Duck. Okay, Danger Zone number 2 landmarks. McDuck Mint, where simoleons are minted. McDuck Towers, McDuck Enterprises, McDuck Mutual Assurance, McDuck, I can't pronounce that, McDuck Incorporated, McDuck Municipal Bonds, McDuck Savings and Load, McDuck Stock Market, McDuck Institute, McDuck Investments, McDuck Industries. Snout sector. Mostly cats and dogs apply this ritzy neighborhood of tune houses. There are more awnings than usual, and a number of open areas with monuments. Primary character, plural. Activity number 3. Mere monuments. The statue of Lafayette, which looks like plural in a Statue of Liberty pose, is surrounded by rows of statues. By touching one, that statue is transformed into the likeness of your avatar. Fifi's Fancies, a pet shop featuring Minnie's dog. Danger Zone number 3 landmarks. Hortense's specialty pet food. Hortense is an ostrich. Snapshot to equine photography. 66 1/8 park width now. A tiny little door. This is where Abner and Monty Mouse live. Dinah's doggy bag diner. Butch's boxing academy. Daisy District. This is a very pretty flowery neighborhood with mostly brownstone buildings and lots of laundry hanging overhead. Primary character, Daisy Duck. Gus Goose Green, a pretty park with many pretty flowers. Ferdinand's Flower Fury. The only thing to disrupt this general park is an angry bull who runs around bashing anyone who steps on a flower. Anyone who gets bashed will have a ring of little birds circling their heads for a while. You can avoid his ire by staying off the flowers. Of course, if anyone behind you steps on a flower, you better get out of his way. The Dainty Duck Department Store. Danger Zone number 4 landmarks. Daisy's apartment, Duck Academy, Mrs. Featherby's Secretarial Service, Duckworth's Butler Training Academy, Abigail Vanderquack's Travel Agency, Huey, Dewey, and Louie's Secret Clubhouse, Daisy District Schoolhouse. Closed because of Huey, Dewey, and Louie's science experiment going wrong. Tunery Row. This is a neighborhood made up entirely of brick factories. Primary character, Horace Horsecollar. Gag Factory. This is a humongous factory with a gallery around the edges, which looks down into the main factory area below. Mallet Masher. This is a large space in the center of the factory. When you go inside, you're issued a large cartoon mallet with which you can bash the other tunes. The more you hit someone, the shorter and squatter they get. When someone is smashed all the way flat, they pop back to original size, now with a circle of stars twirling around their heads, showing that they have been completely mashed. There's no win or lose here because it's all for fun, and tunes are indestructible anyway. Gag Warehouse. This is the factory that manufactures the gag props used in bells. The Powerhouse. This building supplies Toontown with the electricity. Casey Jr. Railroad Foundry. Horace's Horse Collars. Three Pigs Construction. Little Blue Coop Factory. Toon Village. This neighborhood is surrounded by walls and fences with a few houses interspersed. Primary character, Minnie Mouse. Dumbo Circus. At the center of the village is a circus tent. You can go inside. Dumbo's Flying Feather. Everyone gets a feather when they go inside. It allows them to fly. If they keep moving, they can go higher and higher. There are various platforms around the tent that allow you to take a breather or stop to chat. There's a very high platform that can only be reached by flying and landing on all the platforms in a particular order. Circus stuff. A small tent just outside the main tent. Minnie's house, Goofy's house, Mickey's house, Chip and Dale's tree, Morty and Foody's secret clubhouse, Mickey Mouse Club, Peg Leg, I can't pronounce that. This is a tough part of town on the outskirts of Toontown. There are lots of boarded up windows. Primary character, Peg Leg Pete, Hard Hat area. This area surrounds a huge building which is under construction. It is surrounded by a tall fence which has several holes. The contractor is listed as Practical Pig Construction Company. Skyscraper Scuffle. When you go through the holes in the fence, you are inside the skeleton of a skyscraper. This is basically a big playground and obstacle course where cartoon physics rule. There are various slips and slides and teeters peppered about, and if you follow a particular path, you will be able to make it to the top. If you walk fast enough, you can traverse gaps, stop, and you will fall. Toons who fall up the skyscraper will get flattened at the bottom, but pop back to shape quickly. A ring of stars will circle their heads for a few minutes. To keep the geometry low, once through the fence, the owl world appears only as a blue sky full of clouds. Even though the skyscraper is tall, you won't be able to look out over Toontown, except maybe people who make it to the very top can get a snapshot view to put in their book. Then buzzards wrecked use airplanes. Beagle Boys billiards. Muldoon private investigator. Big Bad Whoops joint. Rover Boy racetrack. Lucifer's trash treasures. Lucifer is an alley cat. Casey Stadium. This is the home of Casey's Toontown Sluggers. I think Lucifer is from Cinderella. I think that's who is being mentioned. Anyway, black and white below. This is the area of town where all the older black and white characters live. Those who haven't been in a movie in a long time. The architecture is normal, but everything is colorless. The entries and exits to this neighborhood have large paint pots, as if coloration is slowly in process. Primary character, Claire Bell Cow. This is a classic cartoon commons. This is a bunch of buildings surrounding an area marked with danger signs. Plunging props. This area is full of danger signs. Safes, anvils, and pianos fall to the ground at irregular intervals and pop back up out of view. There's no telling where they'll fall. If you get hit, a number of different things might happen to your avatar. Squish Flat has bump on head, birdies or stars trolling around head, body falls into pieces for a few seconds, or the falling safe itself might break into pieces on your hard head. Julius's Junk, owned by Julius the Cat, Disney's first character. Black and White Bistro, Alice's Adventures Travel Agency, Monotone Modeling, Halftone, Haberdasher, Shades of Grey Pub, Clarabelle's Cosmetics, featuring lip gloss in 20 Shades of Grey. Oswald Rabbit's Restaurant, Crack Quarter. This is a jazzy pub town vaguely reminiscent of New Orleans, with a lot of balconies. Primary characters, Huey, Dewey, and Louie. Cornelius Coote Commons, a pretty park named for the early explorer who founded Toontown. A historical marker recounts his exploits. Three Nephews Tag and Flag. This park, which has a number of hiding places, is a perfect place for a nice game of tag. Someone is always it, and a flag denotes who he or she is. They pass the flag to anyone they touch. The only restriction is that you can't tag the person who tagged you, but have to find someone else. Gear Loose Gadgets, owned by the I don't know that what guy will Gear Loose. Launchpad McCrack's Arrow Adventure, Mrs. Beakley, Governess for Hire, Flint Heart Glom Gold Estate, where Scrooge's business rival lives, Grandpa Duck's Charm School, Benton Crackshell Accountant, Penguin Percent. The buildings in this area are all colored as if it is midwinter. Icicles hang from the lampposts. Even the sky is icy blue. The sidewalks in the street are white as snow. Primary characters: Pete and Polly Penguin. Penguin Park, a park area surrounding a frozen pond. Penguin Pond. Walking is strange and fun here. You have little traction on the ice. It's possible to build up speed around the edges and then skate out on the surface, bowling over people and bouncing around like a pinball. At the center is a gazebo that is very difficult to get into because you have to slide into it at just the right speed. This becomes a sort of king of the hill zone. Penguin Suit Tailor Shop, Frozen Tune Sickle Factory. This building is the cause of permanent winter. Its refrigerators are on the fritz. Refrigerator store, Cold Cuts, Santa's Summer Home, Goofy Town. The streets here are very confused. The buildings tilt more than usual and the windows are often sideways, with stairways hanging down from above. Some streets have buildings textures underfoot and road textures on the walls. Primary character: Goofy, skewed square. This is an extremely mixed up area with lots of impossible architecture. It surrounds a uniquely mixed up monument. Topsy-turvy terraces. This monument to silliness is the product of a century of tune architecture and tune physics. Be right back. This monument of silliness is the product of a century of tune architecture and tune physics brought together to create something only a tune could inhabit. It appears to be an upside-down building. Inside you are able to walk on the walls. Silly symphony, full of befuddlement, full of bewilderment. Perplexed pianos, baffling bowling, dazed dentistry. I don't know that word. Architecture, confused catering, chaotic calisthenics, Department of Disconcertion, flustered furniture. Dang it. Duckburg Docks. The winding streets in this area lead to the bay. The buildings have sliding, making it look a bit like an East Coast fishing village. Primary character: Donald Duck. Bobbing Bay. A boardwalk loops around this bay. A dock leads out to Donald's boat. You can swim in the water though and jump off the gangplank on Donald's deck, Donald's boat. The interior of this boat is a maze of tunnels and ladders that lead ultimately to the upper deck. The boat is sinking and you will have to keep moving or you will slide toward the lower end of the boat. Once on the upper deck, you get a good view of the bay and out to sea. Donald can be heard inside the pilot house mad about something. There is a gangplank that you can dive from. It's the only way back down. Marblehead supplies. Marblehead is a pelican. Duckburg Sailing Academy. Navigator's Warehouse. Willie's Steamboat Foundry. Little Two Tugboats. Ew, I just spit. Anyway, Maroon Cartoon Studios. This area has mostly stucco-sided buildings, and the landmarks are mostly sound stages with large doors. Some streets may look more like bungalows or star trailers. This is the only area in Toontown where Disney characters from feature films can be referred to. Primary character, Baby Herman. Baby Herman's backlot. The studio building surrounded an area where a cartoon is being filmed. There are numerous movie lights and cameras, and there are a few pieces of fake-looking scenery. Roller Master. Baby Herman is at the controls of a giant steamroller. It careens around the area, squishing avatars. After being squashed, you will walk around flat as a pancake. After a minute, your body will pop back to normal. The steamroller goes toward the nearest avatar, so it's possible to lure it to run over other avatars. Studio 734, Roger Rabbit's Trailer, Jessica Rabbit's Bungalow, Crazy Commissary, Pia Pig's Paint Shop, Mickey's Movie Barn. Woodlore Wilderness. This area is made up of twisting paths through a redwood forest. A sign at the entry depicts J. Audubon Woodlore, who is the ranger here. There are a few small shacks here and there from early storybook shorts, but this area is mostly trees. Primary character, Ranger J. Audubon Woodlore. Geyser Gulch. This is a clearing in the woods. Goofy geysers. Geysers fill the clearing. They go up at irregular intervals. If you are over one that goes off, you will be scored high up. At that, there is a ranger tower. If you figure out the right combination of geyser squirts, you will land on the tower. To get down, all you have to do is jump. Nobody gets hurt in Toontown. Woodlore Store, a small national park style building on the edge of the clearing. Redwoods. Most of the landmarks in this neighborhood are extra large trees that become stumps when the suits take over. Three Little Pigs houses spread out on different trails. Big Bear Whoop's house, Grandma's house, Humphrey's Bear Cave, Flowers and Trees Grove. Activity types. Alter your avatar. Change size of body or body parts. Inflatorium. Change coloration. Avatar turns funny colors, black and white. Trolley birds. Getting hit causes trolley birds or stars to circle your head. Skating. Movement retains momentum. Traction is lower. Bouncing. Movement causes bouncing. Bouncy streets, tiger tail. Flying and swimming. Speed is related to elevation. Dumbo's feather, run or fall. Since you are a cartoon, you can run over gaps as long as you keep moving. If you stop, you will fall all the way to the bottom of the canyon. Swimming pool. Wall walking. Feet stick to any surface, falling far from elevation. Scrooge's money pit. Dive into a pool of coins, Toon physics. If you keep moving cartoon fashion, you can go over pits, but if you stop, you will fall, throwing yourself. Cannon. You get shot out of a cannon. Mazes, hedge maze, Donald's boat tunnel, sewer system, construction site, landmines. Geysers. If you walk over one that goes off, you are tossed into the air. Moving obstacles, giant Ferris wheel. Chases you and captures you. Steamroller chases you and squashes you. Ferdinand the Bull chases you and throws you. Falling objects, safes, pianos and anvils. Mere monuments, statues of your avatar. Tag. The player who is it is marked. To help in nailing the feeling of Toontown, the team Bar and Chuck Ballou to help with ideas. Chuck Ballou is an Imagineer who was instrumental in the development of Mickey's Toontown at the Disneyland Park. Chuck's theme park sensibilities can be seen in this document, but many of the ideas he brought to the table did end up being major parts of the Toontown Online experience. And that's about it for today. I'm gonna go through the Toontown Online design document next Tuesday. So bye.